Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, I was recently diving into the crypto research section with inside the private CYPRX Discord that is jam-packed with just the craziest documents and ongoing happenings from these large financial institutions, all these panel discussions that people should be watching and paying attention to, the video breakdowns from these institutional panels that get hardly any views. And I remembered something that Sandy Call had said, considering some fundamentals that I'm going to show you guys in today's video breakdown in regards to DeFi and AI agents and just the transformation that's happening via the financial industry where things are becoming automated. AI agents are going to run DeFi strategies for us, earning yield on our digital assets. And so I want to take you back to that panel discussion from the Ondo Summit. And I want to start off today's video breakdown by listening to Sandy Call from Franklin Templeton, who has active credentials from the, I believe, World Economic Forum. She also has credentials at the DTCC, the CFTC, and actively works at Franklin Templeton. And so I would say that what she has to say is extremely important. And then considering what I'm going to show you guys via more recent times, what took place just in the last couple of weeks and things that were announced in regards to what she was saying about AI agents and DeFi developments, this is going to absolutely blow your mind and give you guys an insight into the digital transformation that is happening right before our very eyes. So take a second and let's listen to what Sandy Call said. And this is just from the beginning of the year. I believe this is just from February 2026, the beginning of February, if I'm not mistaken. So this is all relatively fresh within the last couple of weeks. Listen to what Sandy Call here has to say.
Yeah, I would say that, there's going to be no differential between banking, wealth management, asset management, personal investing. Each person's totality of their wealth is going to be represented in these wallets. And the advice layer that's going to be able to be brought into that and around that, the degree of personalization, as Cynthia says, that's going to be applicable to that, and the ability for every one of us to bring every asset we own into the portfolio and have it considered as part of our personal exposures, that's going to be commonplace. You're not even going to notice this. This is going to be handled by agents, by smart contracts. This is going to just be your portfolio, and the way that it enables your life is going to be happening moment to moment in your life, and you're not even going to notice it because it's going to be so seamless and smooth.
So a lot to take in there. And what she said is happening right now in real time. And I want to share that with you guys in today's video breakdown. This is a huge wake-up call to start learning about DeFi, start learning about how to get your digital assets working for you, how to integrate AI and these AI agents into your everyday life, because there's going to be a certain onset of individuals that do, and that turn these effective AI agents and AI strategies into something that works for them, that gives them, and we're going to share a video breakdown from Jeremy Allaire, something that gives them superpowers and enhances their capabilities. And then there's going to be those individuals that neglect these ongoing happenings. And unfortunately, that onset of individuals is likely to fall behind. And here in the private CyberX community, and you guys as my followers on CyberX, I don't want that to be you. And so let's pay attention to what's actually been happening in the regulatory environment behind the scenes from these large entities. So this is the UK Crypto Asset Business Council LinkedIn profile. Just a couple of days ago, less than a week, they said, we have convened a DeFi showcase at Guildhall in the city of London, bringing together leading digital asset firms with representatives from the Bank of England, okay, huge name right there, Financial Conduct Authority of the FCA, so there's a regulator, the City of London Corporation, including the next Lord Mayor, Tim FKCJP. We explored everything from the role of self-hosted wallets and decentralized exchanges and CeFi and DeFi integrations. DeFi is here to stay. And this is not coming from my mouth. This is coming directly from the UK Crypto Asset Business Council's LinkedIn profile. DeFi is here to stay. It says it right there. And down here, again, you have the little tiny pictures from the private roundtable, okay? And what I find very interesting about this is the list of names who attended this little tiny roundtable. We can see we have Aave Labs, the biggest DeFi lending protocol in all of DeFi, Morpho, institutional DeFi staking, lending, so on and so forth. You have KeyRock, okay? We know that KeyRock is a market maker in this space. Coinbase, of course. And then what I really want you all to pay attention to right here is MoonPay. Okay, MoonPay attended this event. And if we come over here to a recent announcement from MoonPay, considering something that Sandy Call just said to you all a month ago, This is from MoonPay, March 23rd, so within the last week again, 2026. And it says introducing the open wallet standard. We are proud to announce the launch of the Open Wallet Standard, an open source standard that gives AI agents a secure, universal way to hold value, sign transactions, and pay for services across every major blockchain without ever exposing a private key. This was a huge announcement, especially considering what Sandy Call said to you guys just a couple of weeks ago, how AI agents are going to manage everything for us in the future. And it says here, this latest step is a move in a deliberate shift at MoonPay toward AI native infrastructure. Over the past year, we've moved from on ramp APIs to MoonPay CLI to MoonPay agents with ledger secured hardware signing, the first agent focused wallet to support hardware backed transaction approval. Each step has given AI agents more direct programmable access to the financial layer. The open wallet standard makes that infrastructure available to every agent in every framework and every chain. And so the standard today is available on GitHub to multiple different chains. And it says right here over 15 different organizations spanning every layer of the industry, including PayPal, OKX. You have Ripple right there. Okay, interesting. Ton Foundation, Solana, Ethereum, Base, Polygon, Soy, Filecoin, Layer Zero, Uniblock, and the list goes on. And then obviously, of course, also Circle right here. That's an important name as well in this whole entire piece as we continue down this rabbit hole today. So, I wanted to share this with you guys because this is all announced as of recent. And what Sandy Call said is happening in real time. Now, if that's not enough for you, considering that this fundamental piece from MoonPay mentions Circle, if we come over here to a little tiny clip that I just played from, I don't, it was the Economic Club of New York, a panel discussion that Jeremy Allaire was on like maybe a week or two ago. And I want you all to listen to what he says. He confirms this digital transformation. And let's just take a second and let's hear what he has to say.
But at the same time, and this is the message that I give to every single employee in my company, is that if you actually embrace these agentic capabilities, you as a person have new superpowers, and your ability to have impact grows dramatically. And so it's simultaneously going to, I think, eliminate roles that humans need to perform, but at the same time, it's going to empower humans in incredible and unprecedented ways. And that's a tremendous opportunity for economic output and enhancing economic output and creating exceptional opportunities for people as well. But I think there are going to be this kind of discontinuous relationship between the way in which the job transformation impacts the labor and the way in which humans pick up these tools and use these tools.
So in a nutshell, Jeremy Allaire just said he thinks that these AI agents are going to give people superpowers. At least there's going to be a disconnect between people that use these tools and don't use these tools. But nonetheless, what a crazy statement. And if you actually were to go look at this video breakdown where I got this clip from, it's got like 30 views, y'all. Nobody's watching this stuff. And again, this is the type of content that we share inside the private CYPRX research channel. So if you guys want access to these panel discussions where all these systemically important organizations and large entities are talking, all the documents that I'm going to share with you guys, look at all these crazy documents that are inside the private CYPRX Discord. From Deutsche Bank, we got documents. Like it's an ongoing happening, and all the information, all the data that people should be paying attention to is right here inside the community. That was a huge comment, right? Huge comment from Jeremy Allaire. Now to continue down the rabbit hole, all right? We come over to this platform, IXS, the Institutional Exchange Settlement Layer. IXS, which is a acronym to say 5 times fast, is the institutional exchange settlement layer providing a licensed blockchain and tokenization infrastructure for the compliant large-scale adoption of institutional tokenized real-world assets, backed by Coinbase Ventures, UOB Bank Ventures, Spartan Group, Faculty Group, and Abed Group. And remember, you got Coinbase here, okay? And where was Coinbase? Also just that. What did I just show you guys? Coinbase was here in the room, Coinbase right here with the UK behind closed doors, showcasing DeFi capabilities, talking about DEXs, DeFi integrations with the Bank of England and the Financial Conduct Authority. And if we come over here to this huge announcement from IXS that just was announced 2 days ago, we have Julian Kwan. He is the CEO of this organization, IXS, if I'm not mistaken. And down here, he goes on to post this. It says, 18 months later, I never would have predicted we would be building the world's first agents to invest into real world assets, which require different guardrails and features than pure crypto agents. I spend most of my day in our operational agents, building our agents, and just fascinated by the power available to run the business and to live a new, insanely intelligent level of life. It's just mind blowing and incredible, and every day gets better. What a crazy announcement. Shout out to the CYPRX researchers for this, because look at what IXS freaking posted. This is crazy. 3 days ago, they posted this. AI agents are now managing real capital. Most of it is sitting in stablecoins earning zero. The rest is flowing through unregulated DeFi that institutions cannot touch. There has been no compliant place for agent capital to go until today. Introducing IXS Agent, the first regulated real-world asset investment layer built for AI agents with one API call. Your agent earn yields from BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. Oh, what? Franklin Templeton, what did Sandy Call say to you guys? This is so crazy. ERC 4626 vault standards, capital deploys in under 60 seconds. KYC is handled on our side. It is fully licensed across 3 different jurisdictions right now. 7 years of regulatory infrastructure, 1 integration, and you can now access ahead of the full Q2 launch that is coming up. This is a massive announcement, especially if you've been part of the CYPRX community in the Wealth 28 Club, where we've been talking about this now for 2 years plus, waiting for something like this to happen. Crazy that now this has just been announced within the last couple of days and has hardly gotten any mainstream coverage or attention, which is why, again, it's so imperative to be a part of a community like ours in the CYPRX community, because we're reading these types of fundamentals and the researchers are sharing all this type of stuff in our crypto research section on a consistent daily basis. Last but not least, I have some interesting documents from Stellar that I put out to you guys over on X that I want to read, because it goes in tandem with the institutional adoption of DeFi. In this report from Alluvium and Stellar Institutional Infrastructure for Global Settlement and Tokenized Assets report from March 2026. So within the last couple of days, depending on when you are watching this video. And it specifically talks about the ecosystem spotlight and talks about MoneyGram's integration with the Stellar network and how it offers users a crypto to cash solution across 170 plus countries, which is relatively old news. We know about the MoneyGram partnership with Stellar, and we've known about it for some time. What I really want to get you guys to pay attention to is right here, where it talks about this blend protocol and yield on idle stablecoins, where it says one of the most compelling institutional developments on Stellar is the blend protocol, a smart contract-based lending and borrowing protocol that enables institutions to earn yield on idle stablecoin holdings. I repeat, enables institutions to earn yield on idle stablecoin holdings. Blend represents the emergence of a DeFi yield layer purpose-built on Stellar's institutional-grade infrastructure. Then down here, it goes on to mention, for corporate treasurers, Blend changes the calculus on idle stablecoin balances. Rather than holding USDC at 0% yield while awaiting settlement windows, treasurers can now deploy idle capital into Blend's lending pools and earn 12 to 18% APY, significantly above traditional money markets. The protocol supports USDC, EURC, PYUSD, and even Etherfuse stablecoins, tokenized government bonds, enabling diversified yield strategies. And if you come over here to the conclusion or strategic outlook and takeaways, and we see the institutional significance, and it reads, the on-chain evidence presented in this report supports a clear thesis that Stellar has evolved from a cross-border payments protocol into a institutional-grade financial infrastructure supporting settlement, tokenized assets, and programmable compliance. This data demonstrates real-world traction across 5 critical dimensions: stablecoin settlement, treasury and yield, compliance, real-world assets, and developer platforms. And right here, it specifically talks about how all of these institutional significant integrations offer now 24/7 management with yield strategies on idle capital. Okay. It says proven platforms for regulated asset tokenization with TradFi issuers, how the rapidly maturing smart contract ecosystem is now supporting financial products, So all of this stuff is extremely important to be paying attention to. Last but not least, I'll take you guys over here. Financial Services Regulation Committee posted this 2 days ago on their LinkedIn profile. And you can see there are two industry leading experts that were at this event, right? And those two industry leading experts were Dante Disparte, the Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Global Policy and Operations at Circle. So again, you have Circle sitting in the room of these large, financial service regulation committee. This is a large regulator in the UK. And here they are, right? You see Dante's vision right there on the little tiny board talking to these UK regulators. And then we also had the executive vice president and head of global policy at MasterCard, Jesse McWaters. And so I dropped the link for this where you can listen to the entire video here. Again, shout out to the CYPRX researchers. This is a 11-hour briefing that in our private community, you guys can go and watch. The link is in there. Research like this is always dropped, but this video, I'm not going to play any clips from it, was powerful, absolutely powerful. And you can see some of the comments that he directly made that were directly highlighted on the FSRC LinkedIn profile. So right here, it says, Mr. Disparte told us, this is the gentleman from Circle, you cannot have the economy of the future without the money of the future. And you cannot put new money on old rails. He also said, in my humble opinion, it is time for the United Kingdom to innovate with real money and with responsible actors. So, just this goes to show some ongoing happenings in the space in regards to DeFi developments, AI agents, how these UK regulators, this is the stuff that the mainstream's never going to cover. They're never going to tell you that these entities were sitting in on closed door meetings behind the scenes, having these types of briefings. It is up to us to dig through the rabbit hole and find these things. Shout out to the CYPRX researchers. Again, if you guys want access to any of this type of in-depth research, you can always head over to cyprxtrading.com. You can tap into our private community. You guys have all these different segregated sections over here that are organized, well-established documents on the Internet of Bodies, digital wallets, digital ID, quantum regulation, digital banking, digital transformation, metaverse, DeFi, real-world assets, AI agents and robotics, cybersecurity, stablecoins, CBDCs. All the documents, all the research that people should be tapping into is inside our private CYPRX community. We would love to have you on the team. Many blessings to you guys. If you guys enjoyed this particular video breakdown, do us that favor. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Always bringing you all some of the realest research in the game. No hopium, no hype. Keeping you all in the loop with the ongoing happenings of this digital transformation. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.